Hi friends, how are you?
Hello.
This is Sophie,
Hi.
Sophie, our 18-year-old daughter who's home from college. It's been so nice having her home, and I thought it might be fun to have her on today since what we'll talk about today is how we knit together and how we create together. And Sophie's a very creative person. She's a really talented artist. She's studying at Sarah Lawrence. Do you want to say a little bit about what you're studying at Sarah Lawrence?
Sure. I'm studying art conservation, which is a mix of art history, studio art. So I'm painting a lot, and then it's also chemistry, which is kind of a fun mix. A lot of different subjects that I'm studying.
And it's, so maybe she'll work in a museum one day, maybe she'll work as a private business owner for restoring people's artwork. But it's a great, I think, a great mix of your skills because you're a really good artist and you're also, painstaking with your process. So I think that's probably something that you really need to restore artwork. So today we're talking about the stories behind the knits. So I guess we'll start with what I'm wearing. I'll start with me. This is the Big Love by Anthe Strick. I'm gonna, I guess, stand up. I don't know if that's, I can show you the back.
Let's see if we can come closer to see the pattern.
Yeah, let's just let it drape though.
Yeah.
So I did it oversized. I did it in an oversized, I oversized the pattern. I wanted it to fit. It's a cropped cardigan made with Plochalopi. The sleeves are oversized. They're really oversized. I actually rolled them up. I oversized them too much. So I made it a little too oversized, I think. However, I really love it. It's the first sweater I've knit that wasn't in the round, which is a big deal, and really followed a pattern. Like the pattern was really something. This is the first time I've done that, really following a pattern. And it was challenging. It was my most challenging, but most satisfying in terms of, I feel like I wear this sweater a lot, right?
No, you wear it all the time.
I feel like it's so useful. It's so warm.
It's
Thank you. It's so Plochalopi, for those of you who've knit with it, know what I'm talking about. It's a very dry wool. It does soften when you block it, and as you wear it, it's very long wearing wool. It doesn't appear to, even though it's a little hairy, it doesn't appear to be pilling at all. And like I said, I've been wearing it. I've been wearing it under jackets. So it's extraordinarily light and just really, really, really light and warm. And I just think that this has a beautiful rustic look to it that I just adore. And I think I'm going to make some other things. I love her patterns are really pretty. Anthe Strick. She's a German designer. She has really what I would call like cool sweaters. They're really like something that you might buy in a store, but there's something, they don't look, they're often made with chunkier wools. They're often made, well, that's not true. I shouldn't say that.
She usually use Plochalopi?
No, this is, well, maybe in others, but the only one that I'm aware of is this pattern. She uses a variety of yarns. She's a well-known knitter, and she has beautiful sweater patterns, beautiful, mostly sweaters, I think. So I will definitely be knitting more of her patterns in the future. And I really do love my Big Love sweater. So this is there's a Big Love, which is a cropped version of this. There's the Great Love, which is a longer version, with pockets. And then there's Little Love, which is the same pattern using a similar pattern using a thinner yarn or a finer yarn. And what's interesting about this, so the techniques that I used, it starts at the back collar. You do a provisional cast on, and then you work the collar this way, and so you're working the collar and the back simultaneously in the shoulders, and then you kind of work down, and then you pick up stitches. So you're working kind of the collar and the front at the same time as the back. So you're working kind of like back and forth and around. It sounds like a little crazy, but it works how the pattern reads, it really makes complete sense. And then you pick up stitches for the sleeves, and then and then she has this really beautiful ribbing pattern, which I don't know if you can really see on the collar. And then it's like this kind of like a seed stitch throughout the body and the arms. So really, really beautiful, great pattern. Very, you know, I had to take it back. I had to really work at it because, like I said, I'm not used to following patterns. I usually do knitting the Elizabeth Zimmerman style, or I follow a pattern in the round. So the majority of my sweaters have been bottom up color work sweaters. So this is the first pattern that was not a sweater that was not color work.
Yeah.
And I do love it. I love it. So yeah, so what else can I say about this? Anything that stands out to you? Knitting with Plotalopi.
Oh yeah, that one's.
Yeah, knitting with Plotalopi is really interesting. Let me just get I have a cake or a plate right here, just so I can show you what it looks like for those who don't know. So this is how it comes. This is what what it looks like, and you can see it just actually broke right now. So it's
Super
very,
fragile.
very, yeah, it's super fragile. However,
Well, it's not spun, right? It's just kind of.
yeah, but they must do some amount of spinning for it, but like,
Can I rip it?
yeah, this is just a piece. So yeah, so you can see when it gets further away, it very easily breaks, right? But when you get really close, it's almost impossible to break it. So it's actually it has long fibers. And so even though it breaks, you can easily just, you know, put it back together and felt it together. So I just keep a cup of water when I'm knitting with it, and I just dip my fingers in, and I will just felt it back together. So that was really great. Doing I used Judy's Magic cast on, which is the provisional cast on. The only cast on I would recommend, the only kind of provisional cast on I would recommend with this, because the fibers, the hairs are very sticky, and another yarn, if you use a waste yarn through your provisional cast on, it will get stuck in there and it will cause you so much suffering. But this provisional Judy's Magic cast on was such a great, like, oh my God, I'll use that again. Definitely, that was a great technique. This also has a tubular bind off, which was, wow, that was really, remember when I was doing this? It took hours to do the tubular bind off. Once I got it, it was okay, but it was really a painstaking, slow process. And that also...
How is that different from most?
Well, normally how I normally just cast off is I would, you know, either knit and then take that knit stitch and cast it out, right? Or pass over the slip stitch, and so you're always slipping one stitch, you have one stitch. This, you actually, with a needle, it's kind of like a sewn bind off. You do, it's not memorized because it's been a while, but it's a 4-step process. You knit, you purl on, purl off, knit on, and then you kind of, it's a process. And it takes a long time, but it does make a really nice stretchy kind of clean edge on the cast off edge. And it's nice and stretchy. So I do like that. I'm glad to have known that. And it helped me to also kind of check out, because I had to research that. I had to find out, you know, how to do the cast on. I YouTubed it, and then I found the tubular cast on, which is another really cool method. So it kind of makes, it's a seamless kind of, it looks like the ribbing kind of just rises up organically. So it's really cool. So that was part of the techniques that I used, the provisional cast on. You know, and then, yeah, and just doing a pattern, doing a kind of, you know, this is seamless. I picked up sleeves, I picked up stitches for the sleeves, completely seamless. And it was a really, really great learning experience. It really was. I loved it. I loved it. And I'm going to do another pattern by Anthe Strick. Again, I have my eye on some other projects, but I will definitely have her in my future. She has many, many great projects, many great patterns. I would highly recommend you checking her out on Ravelry. Do you want to share your hat?
Sure. So this is my winter project. I made a crocheted beret, and I haven't really knit in quite a while, but this was
many years. But this isn't knitting.
This isn't knitting, this is crocheting, yeah. This is the herringbone stitch, and I did it in the round, which isn't, I don't think you normally do the herringbone stitch in the round. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Put it on.
So cute.
Let's see.
So super cute.
Yeah, it's
beret.
a handy. This is wool, right?
This is wool folk cast iron worsted weight.
Mm-hmm. And I like how this knits up because it's super opaque. You don't really see the stitches. It kind of looks felted almost.
Yeah, it almost looks like, it almost looks like, it has like almost like a tweedy look
yeah,
to
which is kind of interesting, which I like about the yarn.
So beautiful.
It's really nice. On the inside you can see kind of more of the stitches that
yeah, you can almost reverse it if you wanted.
I don't know if I reverse it, but
yeah,
it definitely has two.
But it's warm.
Very warm, yep.
And it's really much thicker because I have this knit up. I knit a sweater with this as the body. Oh yeah, which I'll show in a second. And it's the difference between the knitted texture and the crocheted texture is really interesting.
The herringbone stitch is also, it requires an extra loop, so it makes it thicker automatically, which is, I think, was a good.
Yeah, I didn't even know that you could create a crocheted stitch. I actually really think the pattern on the inside is so beautiful. I'm just going to turn it inside out so you can see the inside pattern. I don't know if it's clear.
There we go.
Oh. Yeah, that's perfect. That's really good.
And then I did some, I think it's called a chain stitch, where you kind of can see. Oh.
Yeah. So you, it's like funny. You got to get it right to that part.
There we go. Well, you can.
Really cute. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Looks so cute on you. She's just walking around town with her little beret. So cute.
Thank you.
So, anything else any other knitting? I mean, she's only been
that's
home
really,
for,
I don't really
or any
do
other
much
craft. We've been going thrifting and finding some pretty cool stuff in the thrift stores. We'll get to that though, but maybe share the earrings that you picked up.
Okay.
They're so cute. Let's talk about earrings.
I picked up these earrings, which are pearl.
Aren't they so cute?
And silver earrings. They're just kind of, here, I can take one.
Maybe hold it by that.
Yeah.
So cute. So thrifting, it's like a thing. It's like a, I did it a lot in my 20s, but they didn't have such great stuff as they have now. It's become a real thing. And you've been doing it for a while, and my son also likes to do it. So we just found some, let's just quickly show some of the things that we found in our thrifting.
This was probably my favorite. This is a wool.
You can find great sweaters.
Wool sweater that I got for $5. And that's
it's great. I mean, and what I love, show the it's a beautiful argyle. This is an old Gap, but it's actually wool. So it must be from like the 80s, I'm guessing. And it's so pretty. And it's really warm. And it's like you're reusing stuff instead of just going out and buying brand new. It's kind of like just part of this slow fashion. I love it. It's really great.
Yeah, and very warm.
Yeah, really warm sweater. That's really cute. What else do you have?
I have this skirt, which it's a very long paisley skirt.
That's something I would have worn in the 80s and when I was working.
And if it really shows up on screen.
Yeah, pretty skirt. But this is also a great skirt to just wear with sweaters.
No, I wear this all the time.
Paisley gold pattern, really pretty.
And then that's all I have down here.
Yeah, I got some other sweaters, but thrifting, it's a really fun thing. And we found some Vermont is great for thrifting. We drove up, was it Burlington, the town we went to? What was the town we went to? Brattleboro?
It was
something with a B.
Yeah.
We're still new to Vermont, but we took a trip in around Christmas, and we drove up and we stopped at some various locations at some thrift stores, and there are just like some really great places and really beautiful, lots and lots of beautiful wool stuff, great flannel tops for just clothes that are in really good condition, and especially now, like so much of the clothes, it's oversized and sort of the 90s, it's a big look for young people, right? And so it's just like really fun. So my son likes to do it, my daughter likes to do it. I picked up a sweater, which didn't fit that great, you know, it was a bit of a
It was
problem.
bit big, yeah.
But it's a really cool sweater, and I'm going to use it as a practice. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to practice my steeking. I might cut it and make it into a cardigan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be nice as
You know, make it into so kind of practice picking up stitches and making it something that I can use.
That's a wool sweater too.
That's a beautiful wool sweater. Yeah, beautiful wool sweater, and that sweater's probably like 30 years old, and it's amazing that, you know, the quality wool. It has like zero pilling. It looks brand new. So that's our thrifting stories. Then I'll show you what else I've knit. I kind of
show the Carolina.
Oh yeah, so the Carolina pullover. I think I definitely talked about this in another podcast, but I just want to show this. This is just I might just jump to the side and put it on to show you how it looks. I really love this sweater.
It's definitely my favorite.
That's your favorite?
Years, yeah.
Yeah, this one was another challenging knit, but it was so worth it. And I also, you know, as I've said in other podcasts, I love a short sleeve sweater. I love this. You know, it's just, oops, is that, something is not right there, yeah. Okay. So again, oversized, but I love the large motifs. Love the large motifs on this. Love the colors. Love the colors.
This and the cowl, you made a cowl. I think this pattern would look really pretty.
Oh yeah, I'm making additional. I love these motifs. They're beautiful.
This is
it's just really, really an attractive sweater. And it's you know, so this is the same yarn that Sophie used for the difference, like as a knit and as a crochet, it feels like a completely different gauge yarn. But it just goes to show the difference, you know, how gauge can make a difference, and also technique, right? Knitting versus crocheting. But I really, really love this. It's so, it's easy to wear. Having no sleeves is freeing, you know. It's just like a freeing. It's like you don't have these big bulky sleeves.
It's so versatile too. You can put like a thermal underneath.
Yeah, normally I wear a longer sleeve t-shirt.
But then in the spring, this will be perfect for.
Right, like it's perfect for up here. I can just throw this on when it's you know, chilly, and so yeah, I really love this sweater. So the Carolina was my, you know, I did that, and then my WIP. Oh, let's talk about this.
Yeah, that's
so we did, this is an old cowl that I made it about 4 years ago, and it's really the best color work that I've done. Here, do you want to hold it? Sure. It's the pattern is from Elizabeth Zimmerman's daughter, Meg Swanson, and it's called, let's just show the back, because the back is
really
like so cool. It's just like really,
it looks machine knit.
Yeah, that's just all the floats that I carried.
Yeah, beautiful.
Meg Swanson's, I think it's called the Snowflake sweater. And I was just trying to see how I liked the pattern, and I was taking a trip and I was going to be on the plane for a while. So it started out as a swatch, and then I was doing it in the round. So I added on a little bit of a little extra selvage for a steek. And then I, steeked it, and now it's a really cute, do you want to put it on? It looks so cute on you. A really cute cowl. Super warm. It's made in Shetland wool, and that is using a really fine, I think I used a size 1 needle. So because it's a really tight gauge, and it's just doesn't it look so pretty? A really great, just something to dress up, a t-shirt, or put under a coat.
Super warm,
so warm, and really elegant looking. Oh, that looks so pretty on you. You should just keep it. I'm gonna end up giving it to her. I can't. I keep saying, "Oh, I'll knit you another one," but this is really so. It looks so good on you. So take it back with you to school.
Okay. Thank you.
So those are past knits that we can talk about. I have a work in progress. I'm working on, where is it? The Anthe shawl. The Anthe shawl. which I wish I had the pattern to show you. So the Anthe shawl, let me see if I have it down here. I do really want, oh, is that it over there? Yeah, the Anthe shawl. So this is this beautiful, it's a terrible picture because my printer's out of ink. Let me bring it back. I don't know how to get this in the, yeah, there it goes. It's, no, oh my God, there it is. Okay, so that's the shawl by Natasha Hornsby. Beautiful mosaic shawl. This is also, I was halfway finished with it and then ripped it back because I was not happy with how.
Do you want to show this?
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing to show. Really beautiful shawl. There's so many of these shawls are being done. But here's, so it uses a slip stitch pattern. The pattern is a little bit, the chart pattern is a little tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it really is a nut. Like, these patterns are so genius. This is how it's, these are the colors that I'm using. I'm using Shetland Spindrift in old gold, navy, and I think it's just called red.
It's a very, very bright.
It's a very bright red. This is going to be a statement.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought that I wanted to have a really colorful shawl. After knitting the Big Love, which was so rustic and brown, I was craving color, and I think it's going to be really beautiful. I think it's going to be a really, really beautiful knit. I haven't started the mosaic. I just started the band. Here you can see that it's slip stitches, and it's a little tricky doing the charts at first. Once you figure out how the charts work, I recommend reading the directions, which I didn't do necessarily as clearly as I should have. That's what caused me problems, because I wasn't slipping stitches. And now that I have, I'm like, oh my God, it's so much more beautiful. It's just a really beautiful, genius pattern, and it's going to be a beautiful shawl to have for years. So I'm super excited, and it seems like it's a big project, but it's going pretty quick. So yeah, I'm really excited about this shawl. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, so that's my work in progress. Do you have anything going on with your work in progress?
Really. I'm going back to school, so I don't have.
Yeah, she's getting ready to leave us, and I'm also thinking about the garden, which is covered in snow right now. We're looking at seed catalogs already and planning our garden for the coming summer, and you know, just also I'm going to be doing, so I have the Anthe shawl that I'm working on right now. Then I want to work on something with Petite Knits. I want to do just a simple vest. Everybody's doing vests, right? That's like the big thing, is everybody's knitting vests, but they're really practical with all the big sleeve shirts that are out right now that are, you know, really trendy. A really tight fitted vest, I think, with a really puffy sleeve, you know, kind of shirt would be great. So I have a puffy sleeve shirt that I'd like to wear a vest with. So that's happening. I don't know. What else do we want to share? Anything? I think we've shared enough for today. So it's been so fun having you here. Isn't she just a sweetheart? So yeah, Sophie's going to be heading back, and we're going to have to get used to not having her around again. And I'll be back again with finished Anthe shawl and all kinds of stuff that's going on. And hope you are well, and keep on knitting, and stay warm. Bye-bye.
Bye.